Now we're at the end of February, and you can see the development of the plant. The diverse varieties grow differently, as I show you in a minute. But here we are in the R755 from Rijkswaan, and up here you see the first trosses are flowering. The first one we already pruned on 6 tomatoes, because this is a small tomato on the vine and we want them to prune on 6. Here we are in the next variety. For this year we choose to have a variety on 5 gutters. So on this side of the greenhouse we have 4 different varieties. It's all small tomatoes on the vine, so there is lots of opportunity for new companies to come and test and try their new equipment on these tomatoes. It's all small tomatoes on the vine, so even here we prune them on 6 tomatoes. This is also a strong variety. It still has energy more than enough. It's the RZ109 from Rijkswaan. Here we are in a variety from Enzazaden named Dunk, and it's also a small tomato on the vine, but it's a strong growing variety, and therefore we prune them, as you can see here, on 7 tomatoes. Yeah? It's 6 or 7, but if the tomato plant has more than enough energy, we put them on 7, so we try to keep him in hand, because otherwise he keeps on growing, and I like to have good tomatoes. As you can see here, also pruned on 7 tomatoes. And here we are in another variety of Enzazaden, yeah? Enza seeds, it's still a number, the 3060. Even a small tomato on the vine, and therefore we also prune them on 6. And as you can see, we already started with having an extra top, because there is more light and we need extra plants. Here we're in a cocktail variety, the Caramelino from the Reiter seeds. Cocktail tomatoes only get 35 till 40 gram each, and therefore the vines are a little longer, and we want to have in between 7 and 10 tomatoes on the vine. And now it's still strong. We do about 10 tomatoes. Maybe later on we have to go back to 8, 9 or 7. But for now it grows very well. So we prune them on 10 tomatoes, and it goes very well. Even the third tross now is already flowering. Over here we are in another variety from the Reiter seeds. It's called Strabini, and it is a cherry plum tomato. This variety we try to get 12 till 14 tomatoes on a vine, and we're almost ready to start pruning here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and we take off the end and we get nicely 12, 14 tomatoes. The end we take off, and the rest will be a nice, good shaped tomato. It's still growing strong. Even here you can see we're having 3rd tross blooming, and it develops very well. Here we are in the Pomsud candy from Harmonized seeds. It's a tomato on the vine, sherry, and we want to have 12 till 14 tomatoes, but the first vine is a little smaller, but later on they will give the right amount of tomatoes. It's still getting strong, yeah, but the first vine is somewhere like 8, some 10, and some 12, but there is a little diversity in the amount of tomatoes on this variety. Here we in the last part, first part from the left hand side if you come into Tomatoworld, and here we have 4 different varieties, orange one, yellow one, red one, and strawberry size tomato. It's different varieties with different approach for on pruning. Usually we're gonna prune all those tomatoes also, but some of them only 2 flowers in the end of the vine, because otherwise the vines get too big. And other ones we're gonna prune on an amount of tomatoes, but this is too much variety to explain in one time.